So we'll start to wrap up the conference then. And I did have a slide I was going to show. So hold on while I get that set up. And we just wanted to do a touch point for the community. All right. So I just wanted to boil down for the community. Let me get this showing as a slide presentation. Is that coming through, Geoff?
Perfect.
All right. Just some quick next steps. So Geoff and I were talking to each other and we were like, what should we boil this down to? Some basic next steps from the community. I think the first one is make sure to save that date. The community, the scientists, everybody, we'll be doing an in-person conference in 2026, August 6th through 9th in nearby Boston. And the last time we did this in 2024, it was more than a gathering to share information. It was really emotional and really amazing for everybody to get together and have all that shared experience, and for the clinicians and the scientists to meet a lot of the families. So this, I think, is going to be huge. I mentioned when I did my initial presentation that we needed a bigger boat, because we actually barely fit in the last conference. We barely fit in the hotel, so we scaled up for this one. So it's going to be amazing. Block off your calendar now. Make sure to hold that time. We will be providing more updates and more details, obviously, in the coming months. But for now, please hold the time. Join the map if you haven't joined the map. I think it's been talked about several times now, but it makes all the difference. Gives us opportunities to tell the story of our syndrome and how many people have it, and that we know that these are known people that if you agree when you join the map, we're allowed to contact you, and that's a really big deal because it says that, for a researcher, if they need to find patients in some part of the world or whatever, that we have the means to make contact with those folks if needed. So it's really important to join that map, show our numbers, and our numbers along with our story is really a big part of our strength as a community. So, and then a few other next steps, and we will paste these. I'll paste these into the chat. Can't do it while I'm presenting, but we'll drop them in. So one is to sign up for the newsletter. And another note on the newsletter, if you are signed up for the newsletter, make sure it's not going to spam. We've had a problem with sometimes these spam filters, depending on your email service, can be very aggressive. And we've had people tell us that they were losing the newsletter. Hopefully our newsletter, it doesn't look like spam, but for some reason, sometimes it gets thrown to spam. But it's pretty low amount of traffic that's going to come to you. We send out a newsletter every month typically, and that'll get you updated as to what's going on, latest news on the condition, latest opportunities for things you may want to join or become a part of. So it's really important. It's one of our best ways to connect with everybody and the researchers as well. When I say community, it's totally worth it for everybody who's working in this space to be on that newsletter. We never share the list with anybody else. You only get emails from us. And like I said, it's usually once a month, and then there'll be occasional emails if there's some specific opportunity that we want to share immediately with everyone. And then for the patient community, I think the two other things that are really high priority is joining Simon Searchlight. I think we had Simon Searchlight here presenting, and I think I talked about it in my talk, just how important it is. It really is. We talked about being on the map. Simon Searchlight is a big part of the map. And so as a community, we need to have a good presence there. The initial joining for Simon's, I've done it. It's not that much work. It's pretty easy. They will need you to get your child's genetic report. So you'll need to get that submitted. That may be the biggest thing you have to do, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward to get to join. And then after that, there is some work, there's some surveys and so on. And we're going to be circling back on the guidelines around how to, and Geoff shared the link, but I think we'll circle back also probably through the newsletter about how to use that CRID functionality that they're now starting to work to share surveys with each other. And that really, I think, can reduce the amount of burden of filling in these surveys, because as that gets really working, you'll fill them in once and then they'll get shared around the different resources. So, but just to get started, join up. And then Citizen again, Citizen also, we're really trying to get our numbers up on Citizen. Also pretty light lift. You sign up and then you fill out some releases so they can contact your child's doctor, provide the information on the doctors, and then they will pull all that data for you. It's not like you have to go get your child's medical records, they pull it all for you. And so it's really a pretty low amount of work to get started. And so I think those are the really big steps I wanted to, don't want to throw too much at everybody, just like give a nice short list. So join the map, block off the time for the upcoming in-person conference in 2026, get on the newsletter, make sure if you're on the newsletter that it wasn't getting thrown to spam, and tell your spam filter this is not spam. Join Simon Searchlight and join Citizen Health. Those 5 things, that would make a huge difference to the community, to where we are with the community, and what we can do to serve the community in terms of having everybody aligned. So Geoff, did you want to add any comments to that final
Well,
sum up?
I think that there's more opportunities that we're going to then delve into, right? So this is kind of initial of how we want to bring people into the community, but we are growing rapidly, and so I do think that organizationally, we're looking for other folks to step in and support the mission. And so whether that's we had talked last year, and we're slowly building out what a regional ambassador looks like, and as someone enters the community, to be able to help them, guide them into, okay, here's how to integrate, here's where you can activate it, where are your interests in supporting your child or this community. There's so many opportunities at hand, and I think at the end of the day, we continue to reinforce this point that the community is what's going to drive this whole effort forward. Right? I mean, we for us to be able to invest in research projects, we need to do fundraisers. We have one coming up here in Greenville in November. We're doing a golf tournament. We're talking about doing one in San Diego. We have one tomorrow going on in New York, Raylan's Run. We just had one in Indianapolis. So we have all these different members of our community activating to help push our mission forward, because as hopefully you've seen over the past 2 days, there is a ton of work being done. I mean, it's incredibly exciting. It's exciting for me to see George and Angels just connect, and then thinking about that collaboration and how we can nurture that, and how we go into these larger disease groups like the chromatinopathies, or like the ARIA opportunity that could be coming down the pike. So it's all about activation. It's all about us as communities coming in together and coordinating our effort as much as possible, but also where there's opportunities to lean in, we need to lean in. And then if there's opportunities for us to meet you and assist you, that's also why we exist, is those moments where someone's just in the community for a week and has found us is so enriching for us, that we know that we're doing what we need to be doing, so that you're not going 6 months, a year, 5 years. Tracy on here earlier, who has an adult that's over 30 that has just recently been diagnosed. That's a heck of a journey to go on, and to finally find your tribe and your community is very empowering. And there's a lot of resources that we're building. So again, just encourage everybody to continue diving in with us, because we are going to be the ones who create this, and I'm confident we can. As Kira said, we've done a lot in 5 years, but when we were just talking about celebrating 5 years, like, what is the next 5 years going to look like? The impact that we can have is far greater. And so that's what's, I guess, motivating, makes me personally want to double down and work even harder. So this was a great conference. I pinged Eric offline. It was, there was a lot of scientific leanings to it. So just want to applaud Eric, because I think how the conference flowed, how each talk kind of informed and piggybacked on the one before, it all kind of like sent this cohesive message. And there's a lot of synergies in the space, and that's because of the work of I Define Europe, all the folks that Tanya had mentioned, all the different partners we have. I mean, we say we can't do it ourselves. There is this like rising tide of support from outside the community, but we are the central force, and we are the ones connecting all those folks. So have a moment of celebrating that and patting ourselves on the back. And again, I can't wait for next year, and getting everybody in person at a bigger hotel, because we were busting at the seams at the last one, and welcoming in new members of the community. So very exciting, and lots more to come.
Yeah, and I think this has been amazing for me, this conference. And when I look at this, I think just imagine what we can do when we all get together in person, doing this online, and it's been fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait for 2026 meeting. I pasted in also the world map link. And then I think the other essential connection point, if you're not sure what to do or where to start, we have an email that's the entry point email, and that's unlock@idefine.org, and I just put that into the chat. So if you're stuck and you're just like, I don't know what to do, like, just send an email there and say, I need help with X. And that's what that's there for. That's our entry point for that. So um, yeah, I think if you need to be
Yep.
in touch, be in touch. If you don't need to be in touch, be in touch. How's that sound?
Yeah. Let's just keep connecting. There's
Let's keep it.
so many
Yeah.
ways to engage. And at the end of the day, we have no greater cause than our children. And so
Yep.
that is the driving force. Like we live it every single day with everyone else. So we're uniquely familiar, and we want to carry this burden with you and for you. So thank you everybody for joining. Have a wonderful weekend. If you do have any questions, please reach out, and we'll take it from there. But to continued progress, cheers, Eric. Great job.
Thanks. And I don't have a slide that just says thank you, but I should have one. And I want to thank the presenters. I want to thank all the people who have worked on KS over the years. We didn't just jump into this out of nothing. There was all this other work that had happened that we could lean into and facilitate more work and connect people. And that has made all the difference, I think. And all the people who are working on it now, all the physicians out there who are seeing patients and caring for patients. And then most of all, the community who's just been amazing ever since we started this project, and has been responded every time we've asked. And it really does make all the difference. The community, you can't do it without the community. It's impossible to do without the community. And the community has done everything we've asked and done a lot of work, and so appreciative of that. And I'm so glad I can be on this journey with everybody.
Awesome. We'll end with that message of gratitude. Thank you all. You guys have a good weekend. We'll be editing these and posting them to our YouTube channel. So that'll be another thing that we'll send out
Yes.
to make sure that you're tuned into is all the YouTube content. So we will be in touch. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Eric. And everybody have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone.